Senator Blackburn, thank you so much for doing this interview today. We're here at the Trump Account Summit. How do you think this will give Americans a head start in life?
Oh, and for all children that are born this year through 2028, the fact that they can get a Trump account and get that initial deposit, and then parents with small children can go to the IRS website and pull down a form, I think it's 4547, and they can open an account with a smaller deposit for their children. What a great way to learn about financial literacy, to have access to capital, to learn about wealth building. And there are restrictions on these accounts from age 0 to 18. And if you leave the money in there, if you make all the annual contributions, you're talking about over $300,000 that would be in that account at age 18. That allows a child to pay for college and come out with no debt. Or 28, if they leave it untouched until they're 28, then look at what they can do there. It's over $1 million. That's a house purchase.
What do you expect the long-term impact on affordability in America to be? You mentioned it'll be easier for more people to afford college, home buying. We'll see less people renting, more people buying homes. What do you see the long-term impacts of all this?
Well, there are a couple of things there. One, I think, is the financial literacy education as to what compound interest can do if you save your money instead of spending those dollars. And then the other thing is reframing that discussion. Individuals having access to the capital they need to start a business or to get that education or to buy that home. And, I think also for parents beginning to look at how they prepare for their children, and for grandparents being able to give a deposit into that account as opposed to giving a toy for a birthday or for Christmas or for Easter.
What does this mean for the president's affordability agenda specifically? That's been a big push lately. He's doing these tours around the country talking about what he's doing for affordability once a week. This is one of the biggest things we're seeing on affordability.
Yes, and of course the Biden inflation was very difficult, going up to 9.1%, and the president's gotten it down to about 2.6%. Those are good steps. There's more to do. The price of fuel and food needs to be coming down. And the cost, the interest on mortgages, we'd like to see that lower. So indeed, this is another of steps saying, let's reframe this discussion and look at savings and what we can do to build nest eggs.
On another topic, you have introduced the bill to make a national framework on AI. You had a great op-ed about it in the Daily Signal the other day. How is this going? What do you see as future steps in making sure that these 3 C's that you talk about are protected?
Yes, and it is going great. We are really pleased with where it is. The White House is making markups on the discussion draft, doing their red lines. We have a lot of stakeholders we've worked with, a lot of people that are involved. I was honored to be tasked with taking the first stab at this, and we'll see where we get with it to make certain we win the race in AI and that children, our creators, our communities, and conservatives are protected.
What kind of people have been involved in this coalition to make this draft, this framework for AI?
You've got legislators, you've got interested organizations, you've got the industry, you've got the White House. So everyone's involved. We have to take an action.
Absolutely. There was a big case yesterday, came to court on some of these social media companies talking about whether big tech has harmed children. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
Well, we know that there are harms, and big tech knows that there are harms. The addictive nature of these algorithms. One thing that's important to realize in this is every industrial sector we have in this country, every industrial sector has product safety mandates. The only sector that does not have product safety mandates is the virtual space. So it's imperative that we put some of these protections in place in the virtual space.
How does this fit in with your Kids Online Safety Act?
Kids online safety is a part of it, making certain that there's safety by design and that the algorithms are open for parents and kids to be able to opt out and set those algorithms.
Shifting over to this potential government shutdown coming up, Senate Democrats have said they will not vote for a DHS funding bill that includes funding for ICE. What do you think the path forward here is? Are we going to have a shutdown?
The Democrats, and most of the Democrats do not want to shut down. I will say that. I think also it's important to realize we have had a massive storm. It has crippled much of our nation, and FEMA funding, Coast Guard funding, comes out of the DHS budget, and I really don't think they want to end up stalling funding for FEMA as we're dealing with such a tragic aftermath. Tennessee has been hit unbelievably hard with the ice storm. So yes, this is going to take a while to clean up, and it's inappropriate to not fund DHS in the middle of this.
It looks like they're trying to separate DHS and ICE funding. Is that something you could see Republicans ever getting behind?
It's all under the same bucket.
Absolutely. Some Republicans are calling even for some congressional oversight into what's gone on in Minneapolis with ICE. Do you think this is necessary?
I think there's already 2 investigations going on, the FBI investigation and the professional responsibility investigation. They should be completed soon, and we should know those results.
And as we go back to this event on the Trump accounts, what would you tell Americans, parents even, who are having babies this year about how to tap into these accounts?
Go to the IRS website and pull up the information on Trump accounts, and be sure your children are signed up.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time today.
Yes.